Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is MyGamesGX here. We are with chat, and we are going to be going over today Andre Torres's second place Branded Despia deck profile from the recent YCS 3v3, and he got second place alongside Rafael Reich, who is one of the most prolific players in the game, and then also I forgot what his name is. I'm very sorry to him, but he got second place at Worlds in 2023. He was the guy who went against Pauly in the finals. So I knew I recognized him somewhere. But this was one of the most top stacked YCSs I've ever seen in my life. And Andres just got back-to-back top 8s. This time he got second place. And Andres is on some of the goo that we were discussing on the channel the last week, namely Psy Frame Lord Omega. So we're going to see his reasonings on things and kind of commentate over the deck list.
2 whites, an OG, obviously. 3 yellows. I think this is it. Forever and ever. 2 Cartesias.
Yeah, this is like, he's going to get into it, but I think Branded is starting to become a bit more standardized.
Best card. Very good. We were bounced.
So good.
We were bounced. 1 Quem, 1 is more than enough.
Like, I think Andre said on our channel, like, when we interviewed him, of course, we did interview him. If you haven't already watched that, definitely watch it. But Kit is a mandatory card in Branded now.
An Ecclesia, please. If anyone is watching me and has an Ecclesia original Starlight image, not a Starlight user of the original image, let me know, please. I'm going to be in Colombia this week, if not in the United States next week, then in Guatemala. An Exodus Mercury. I love it. I want it. I adore it. And
you gotta get Andres a Mercurier plushie. We gotta start selling Mercurier plushies.
This guy who was the worst. My God, I was a fan of this card, but I increasingly think that the version is getting to a point where it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. We'll see his explanation on, but I've cut Shrouded, guys. Like, if you're already running Nib, you don't need Shrouded because you get the Lunalite line off of the Nib anyways, and this is just an Upstart Goblin glorified.
And this guy, but the reason why he's there, I think many of you have already seen him. Many of you sent me messages all weekend. Combos do with Omega with the Ecclesia Synchro. If you want all the specific combos on how to use the card, on how to take full advantage of the combo, go to the guide, and there you'll find the entire explanation of how to use the combo correctly.
So Andres had actually, I had talked to Andres a few days before the YCS. And it was funny because he was like, bro, you leaked the goose, since we uploaded 2 videos on Omega, on Psy Frame Lord Omega, and it just as a joke. And we talked about kind of the theory too. I think he wasn't on Golden Sword Soul at that time, but I suggested to try out Golden Sword Soul. I'm not sure if he liked it overall, but like, we've kind of came to that conclusion that Golden Sword Soul opens up just the ability to be able to play through hand traps better, and then also giving yourself the opportunity to make Omega for free with your combo. But even then, I think that we could, if we are running Golden Sword Soul, maybe we'd be able to run another level 8 synchro. I think we'll see if he gets into it.
How to use the combo correctly. Well, obviously another Farafalus, of course, because we want to play more Farafalus. 3 openings. I actually stole this card more today than I would have liked. It's stealing a lot of double copies, and obviously it's super. The only bad thing is that it blocks us and doesn't let us be synchronized, but hey, it's not bad.
Yeah, it does feel like one of our weaker starters now, but it's like you kind of need it.
Best card, along with the other best cards. Emmy Fallen of the Virtus, beautiful card, very good. Reborn, breaks, removes Floodgates, removes Secretarium, breaks Magic, the Typhon Trap, plays.
Yeah, you need this card like for Secretarion, Flame, all that fun stuff.
Flame of the Draco Hotel, breaks Evil, breaks the Chain Ecclesia when they try to take effect. Great card, rather. Very good, very good, very good. Brandon Red, I'm still playing alone. Right at the 1300, I played white and red. I've taken up, yes, the white. Well, I think many saw my profile from the regionals a couple of weeks ago. I removed white. I still play only red and red. I didn't really use it much, as more like a little brick, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's either red or white, right? I'm currently a fan of white, but red definitely works.
The worst card in the deck, Brand Fusion, really became like the worst card in the deck. Fugalos comes in, Ash comes in, Taxi comes in. It doesn't let me do synchros. I mean, I never ever wanted to play this card on turn 1. Simply when they were already doing a lot of H-traps, to me, it came in on turn 1. But it went from being like the best card in the deck to being the card that you never want to draw on turn 1.
It's interesting how it works, right? Like, if you get triple hand traps, you'd like to have in your hand, but like, ideally going first, you always want the synchro line, and that's kind of what he's implying there. I think going second, this card is certainly one of the better options, but even then, the synchro line is just so insane.
And this is the best.
It's just that Branded Fusion gives you like 2 to 3 free bodies, right? Whereas like the synchro kind of struggles getting there. So Branded Fusion ends up being better going second right now in the Branded Despia deck.
Card in the deck along with all the other best cards in the deck.
That's why we play Branded.
This is the card that we want to resolve. People who already know how deck plays and understand how deck plays usually do this. So there are several baits that one can try to do by activating this witch. If it resolves, it's still very good. And if it doesn't resolve, well, we already have the white to do and keep playing. So this is the new fusion brand of the deck. Please get.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it is basically the new Branded Fusion of the deck, because it is, if your opponent doesn't ash this, you get so much advantage that you likely win the game.
The ultimate quarter, something to be able to fix ultras. Amazing. As you can see, I got the sword out of the deck. The other trap, I'm only playing this one. This is a go. This card is always my team. Very good card. Excellent.
I mean, he played Secretarion in the side, so yeah, just like prioritizing the Retribution, being able to set that for the Draco Tal matchup, having those options for Draco Tal makes a lot of sense to me.
Card. Excellent. The going seconds. I heard advice from a lot of people.
It's funny in pure Branded, it's so meh, but in Draco Tal Branded, it's insane. I mean, what the hell? Yeah, Kraus. What's up, Kraus? How's it going? Best art on Twitter, by the way. Check out Kraus on Twitter. But yeah, no, it's definitely like interesting. This is like one of those topics why I was like saying like Draco Tal, Branded Fusion's a better starter in Draco Tal right now than it is in Branded, which is hilarious, honestly.
Everyone was telling me, but how is he playing without a droplet? Is he crazy? Is he on drugs? Well, there they are.
Is he crazy? Is he on drugs?
Really bad. I took the super apply out of the deck for the droplet. The change was very good. It really was a very good change. I served.
In our interview with Andres, he talked about how he wanted to go back to droplet because of the fact that Draco Tal is now less popular. People have realized that Yummy is probably the best of the tier 1 decks right now, so having options that work better into that deck while also droplet being an option to dodge flame is pretty good. But let's hear his explanation on this.
Too much super apply. What? It was 10 rounds. 10 rounds, plus the top 8 in final. I think I played against about 5 or 6 Dragatils. I played Cotton twice. The guys from Argentina are 3. The guys from Bolivia are 4. We played against the guys from Bolivia again. They're 5. Yes, I played Branded 7 times. The rest.
Yeah, I did see he did play against Branded 6 or 7 times. I think half of them were pure decks, which is definitely like those mirror matches when they're played pretty like you know, when it's not just hand comparing it. And I think that mirror match ends up being very skillful, so it makes sense that he won most of those. Thanks for the shout. Well, thank you for the art. Yeah, guys, if you see any art on our channel, it's most likely by Kraus. So shout out to Kraus. He like the Mercurier art y'all love, that was Kraus. Like all the art on the website is from Kraus. So shout out to Kraus.
Vanquish K9 like 3 times.
Droplet is gas. Yeah, no, I think I want to probably start mating Droplet. I've been seeing more and more Droplet recently kind of creep back into Branded decks. Like I know Peeps Gaming, who just got 12th place at Richmond with Branded, has been on it too. So it's one of those things that I'm not surprised it worked out for Andres.
So, well, this helped a lot, because it let me skip doing negative magic in Cadenarium, solve the magic, blah, blah, blah. And Ash, obviously, well, I think Ash was at a point where he was really bad, like a few years ago, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And now Ash is again like, oh my god, please, Rash, draw it.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. Y'all remember how people were like in tier limit format? Like that was the lowest Ash had ever been. Like Ash was a bad card in tier limit format, but and it slowly crept back in because of Fuelos, right? Now it's just, it works as a called by now and as an interruption going second, especially now that branded variants are so profuse in the meta. This definitely is like the best hand trap now, arguably next to Fuelos, right?
It's really good, huh?
It is interesting how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is now you have to main 3 Ash, 1 called by. And I guess that was always the case, but it feels like more the case now.
3. Guys, I really didn't see this card all day.
Aww.
I didn't even discard it with 8 spirits. The only time I saw it was to draw it, to put it in a side deck. I didn't open it, put it like that. No lie, I didn't draw.
I will not lie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Feels so much easier when you open this card when you need it. I will not lie.
A lot going second. I didn't see this. I didn't fugalize anyone. No one. To be honest, I fugalized a lot. Like, oh no, there was someone who staked your soul on me and I fugalized them and chained the other one. But they brought it and passed. I didn't give me any more cards. 2 night viruses. And the last minute addition was a Baylor. The deck has.
I love the Veiler though. That is something, like, I think we're actually on reverse ratios. I didn't even notice that. I'm on 2 Veiler, 1 Nib. So I I appreciate that.
40 cards. This is card 40.
I got the Nib idea from Andres though. I do think that some people called me crazy for running Nib and Branded right now, but you need something to draw off a Fua, right?
I honestly had no idea what to put. I tried Called by the Grave, I tried Furia, I tried the third Nibiru. I wanted to play a super and go around, but the extract didn't let me. I tried, I don't know, it's just that the deck is so fair that I even thought that maybe a second Ecclesia might be better, but I wanted a total of 12 cards for the second, since it was more like a...
That makes sense. You do just need like a mass number of non-engine that you can draw. I think 12 is basically the minimum in the game right now. I think if your deck runs less than 12, it really needs to, I don't know, it has to be either 12 breakers, 12 hand traps plus, right? So that makes a lot of sense to me. That's where I'm like, yeah, we could run a second Ecclesia, but you're going second into decks like Draco Tal or something. You'll be happy you had that Veiler.
So I needed a card to go second, but it was... okay. I think I made a couple of Baylors in the whole tournament. I discarded it twice for the spirits. I don't know if this should be like an Ecclesia to make it an Albas more. So I don't know.
Maybe if he ran like Exciton or something, which is something I've discussed with Andres and other people and on the channel, where like you can just run an Exciton when you're running multiple Ecclesia and going second, that Ecclesia turns into Exciton. That is somewhat taking up some of your combo, but like I mentioned before, you should be resolving Branded Fusion going second anyways. So like dumping your Ecclesia and white Dark Drag or following the White Lions into like breaking your opponent's board is pretty good. So I could maybe see that happening. I just think having the Veiler is something that's so nice for Draco.
Sure. All the comments about this card and the other options I had were in the guide, because it was like my last decision. It was card 40. So in the guide you can see how everything is behind the Baylor and why. I'm not sure if it is or not. And I ended up leaving it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just a more fitting card. The side. The Sick has a lot of interesting things. 3 Perulias. A Feather Duster. Since I'm playing Droplet,
this is something I wish I was on too. I do think like when you're on Droplet, like Droplet Feather Duster just like kind of solos MST, right?
Time to put cards to pair with the Droplet. Plumber and Lightning Storm. I
didn't know what card I thought that was Raigeki for a second. I guess that is Lightning Storm's alt art.
With 2 Draco Tildes. I did Feather Duster in Cabinet, only 2. The rest, but sold the 5-card Feather Duster and a 4-card Feather Duster. One against Cotton and the other I don't remember. The tests are obviously very...
This is like one of those things that people are telling me like Draco Tal doesn't make an unbreakable board. You can just draw Droplet Feather Duster, which is true, but how often does that happen? But when it does feel like a pretty game-ending kind of, you know, that is the way to break a Draco Tal on board or an MST on board.
Good.
So running the 2 plus, like, you know, you're saying in the Perulias 3 Fua makes a lot of sense. You're going to draw them more often than not, I feel like.
This paired with
maybe even like a Thrust package could help that. That's something I was thinking about going back to, honestly.
Droplet is excellent. Call by the Grave, when we're in first place. The side is really similar to what I played in 300.
I like the side called by at least. Like, he said he wasn't maining called by. I feel like you kind of have to between the main or side. Oh, and he's still on contact C. Let's see his explanation for this. Obviously, Draco Tal, but...
The contact or Vitality C. Dre, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I got that wrong, dude. The Branded players always be calling retaliating C contact C.
Excellent too. This card really has to be in the deck. It's very good, and even more so now.
It has to be in the deck. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is like the best hand trap into Draco Tal. It's like one of the only single use hand traps that might get you there.
With the popularity
Besides Fua.
that our magician decks are gaining.
Oh, and the Dark Magician decks too, so they're good against Yummy. That makes a lot of sense.
This suits them. Well, the first change is super hyper mega interesting, useful on that. The tab balls, a very good card. Honestly, I got so many hand wraps going first today. So many hand wraps that I only brought it once, but at that time it won.
So he saw a lot of hand traps over the weekend, so he didn't summon this. See, that's like my experience with the locks right now. Like, you most of the time don't even make it. That's why it's not in the main, but and also bad going second. And Brandon's able to win without them, but I think decks against like MST or something, this is where you really want it, and it sounds like when it came up, it came up.
Radius and Typhoon. So
yeah, where it worked against Radiant.
that was the main reason for the card. The one I brought won because the guy had a droplet and he had to put it. And he had a droplet and super poly. There was a fusion mirror.
Yeah, droplet and super. See, that's the thing, guys. Like I've said before, Brandon kind of does get hit by breakers pretty hard, especially in certain situations. So like, you know, being able to turn off super poly into Saint Azamina is game winning, right? Into the MST matchup, because MST you can deal with the engine, you can't deal with them breakers.
Deck, it has a droplet and super poly, so this did its job. So super good. Among the last 5 cards, these 5 were the ones that I liked the most.
Oh, he's on the Fleur de Lis plus the OG Ecclesia. I love to see it.
The Nervins, I already talked about them in previous videos. This card has to be on the side, no matter what.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Every single, like, Nadir is just better than Dragon's Breath, guys. Like, in Branded, I think, because it does more and does essentially the same thing. Like, it gives you a better end board. Yeah, it's not like making you play through evenly or something. I don't think he was on Sanctifier either, but honestly, I think if you know how to layer the Branded end board, like, evenly, it only trades 1 for 2, 1 for 3 at most. So
there is no period. This has to be there. Sometimes I even feel like putting MC. This card definitely has to be very good, very good. It really is very good. But
I think someone asked, when do you side Nadir? You always just side Nadir going first against every single deck in the game. You take out 3 Fua and put in 3 Nadir. If you're on cross out like me, 2 Fua and like a Nib or a Veiler, right?
It definitely has to be very good, very good. It really is very good.
It helps you play through hand traps. It makes your end boards better. It's a starter. It does everything except really help going second.
But I thought, well, how do I make Nirvana even better when they hand trap me a lot? So sometimes I'm just adding an Albazero.
So I do like doing both Fleur de Lis and Dogmatika Ecclesia with Nadir, because you could just, if you've already gone Fallen the White, which has been my issue with Nadir, if anything is where like you use it after you've fallen the whited, which happens about 40% of the time, running the Ecclesia to then search out the Dogmatika Fleur de Lis is like a few interruptions on its own, and you should theoretically have more in your graveyard if you had already resolved Fallen the White, right?
Silly. Sometimes they would hand trap me, and
I've been seeing a lot of Fleur de Lis, and more Fleur de Lis than Ecclesia, but to me, if you're not running OG Ecclesia, Fleur de Lis isn't as good. Like, I think you do have to run both of them on some level. I mean, you don't have to, but like, I think it helps a lot.
Because Elvis and I had nothing else to do. So I would play Nadir Ice Dragon. Look for Ecclesia, summon Ecclesias, look for Flower of Brindboa, Quinbotar. This already gave me a kind of negation, an interruption with the magic, an interruption with the counter, and well, what I finished bringing down from the graveyard. Another interesting thing is that when I played Albas and they made Fugalos, I would simply bring the Ecclesia. And with the Ecclesia, I would look for the Fleur de Lis. Since I already knew I wasn't going to keep playing,
yeah, that's like a better Fua line too under Nadir.
instead of bringing Ecclesia to leave it standing there doing nothing, I said, well, I better bring this out, look for this, and show it that I threw away because it's gonna set the trap for me. So I continued with the magic, the Virtus. So I ended up having the same interruptions, even though I only gave one maximum 2 cards to my opponent, so it was fine. And also in the game, sometimes what I would do was like with this, I would look for the Virtus, I leave this in the deck, they break the field, okay? And I remove it, I bring the Alba brings the Ecclesia, and looks for the fleur-de-lis. So he was like looking for an opponent's effect. So the fact of leaving the Dawn in the cemetery was like, I don't know, I remove the Rimbro, I bring the Dawn, I bring the Church, I look for fleur-de-lis, I look for a dance, and on top of everything, a monster that they have to kill with monsters.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't like actually get rid of this easily.
That are not from the extra. Thus, honestly, this engine was great. I truly enjoyed using it. I think it stays.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be running the 2 Dogmatikas over. It's just tough with that side deck space, right? He's not choosing to run the Psy frames.
And extra deck, this Daddy Yankee.
Oh yeah, we did do side deck before extra deck.
Yankee Cito, for those who know, my Yankee, my Q baby. Thank you, and just Daddy, always there with me. The extra, well, this is very basic. There's nothing strange in the extra. Oh, yes, there's a strange card, yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, Andres, don't sell it short.
These gentlemen accompanied by this
These gentlemen.
accompanied by this.
I'm gonna start calling my Albions gentlemen.
Gentlemen, and
They are gentlemen. They're just getting you there.
by this. I mean, this is super standard.
1 Guignol. He's still on 1 Guignol. We talked about this in our interview where if you know how to grind game perfectly with Branded, I think 1 Guignol is fine because you can play around the fact you have 1 Guignol. I just like the convenience of it. And then also having like High Spirits Veiler, but he's only running 1 Veiler. Maybe if he ran 2 Veiler, that would have been more of a consideration to run double Guignol.
I think this is what.
This is Andres. Yeah, this is Andres' interview, guys. I have linked the video in the description of the chat. I will repost it, but definitely check out Andres' channel. I totally agree with 1 Gwigster. It's tough, but yeah, like it's definitely like a lot of the time you can like Lubellion spin back your first Gwigster, right? So like it's fine.
Always plays. This is what.
Do you think the Psy Frame package is weak due to the fact that all of them are technically 1 use for the entire game, or could you draw the brick? I think it's drawing the brick, but like it's still good. It's just good when you don't draw the brick. Like I had my friend, and you guys know him, Prophecy Wiz, Michael Wisniewski, one of the best players in the game, honestly. He ran a regional this weekend. I was watching his stream and he was like, yeah, I just drew the driver all weekend instead of actually drawing a Psy Frame. So, and when that happens, the package doesn't feel good enough. So it is like not a luck-based package, but it's like you do have to like hope your draws work for you more often than not, right? When you're running the Psy Frame package. So I don't think they're mandatory, right? But there's still something you can consider, of course.
So all this is like the standard. This is what the
Fleur-de-Lis helped me with my Genesis celebration with Branded goated card. Yeah, I gotta try it out more. Can you just play 3 Ecclesia, 1 White Dragon, 1 Exciton as a breaker package? You could.
but there's nothing weird here. Then Rimbro. Here comes one of the first different things. I decided to play 2 Dogmas.
Yo, I didn't realize he was on double Dogma. The goat's back. The goat's on it. We talked about this a little bit in the interview, and he was like postulating, you know, maybe I'll run double Dogma or not. It looks like he went to it.
With Christian and Ecclesia in the cemetery, there's no way they can ignore this. They're literally 2 towers, 3500 and unkillable. Brutal. There are many decks that can't kill them, and to kill them you need a lot of resources.
Wait. He's making double Dogma. Holy crap. Making double Dogma that's like doing double Liger Dancer without the Raigeki, but then you have the other Branded effects to back it up. I love it.
Resources. Hey, right now I'm gonna explain a cool combo that I did many times. Hey, Zang. This is what a useless card. I didn't use it.
He said Secretarion was a useless card. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this for a bit. You don't need Secretarion, really. It's good into Dracotel, but like you're not running super poly in this build, especially. I think Secretarion could genuinely just be a Sanctifier, and you have like a better Branded fusion line, right? And also an out for evenly.
I didn't use it at all. Every time I played it, they denied it, destroyed it. Made Vertus. All this has to come out of my extract. What to think? What else to put? Well, this was extremely useless.
Hey,
I think double Guignol Andres or running a Spride or a Sanctifier. I don't think it could be any other the other three. I'm assuming he's on Proskinion, so.
Obviously, this guy is very good. Hey, this one is also great to recycle and to be able to do the Grangium. Here's my target for Grangunyal and the.
I still think Proskinion's the best target. Like, I love Lulu, but and that's something you could also consider for the Secretary on slot. But he's not running double Guignol, so the Lulu won't come up.
Ecclesiastes, obviously. And let's say that the card that made the deck different for the tournament is Frame Lord Omega.
Drum roll, please.
Man, the combos with this thing are crazy, really crazy. When they did a couple
You heard it here first, folks.
of hand wraps on me, and I managed to get to the Ecclesiastes. Let's see. It was like you do a double hand wrap on me, okay. I do Ecclesiastes, I remove Ecclesiastes, I bring the field. I could either do the effect of pass turn and return cards, like the turn cards, like the
That's the thing. You could also just like pass and then hand rip on your opponent's turn and then get back retribution. It's so fucking crazy, dude, this card.
trap to the
Like, you should be running Psy Frame Lord Omega in your branded decks. IMO right now.
graveyard, or return cards like this gentleman to the graveyard, which is the reason why I had this play, to be able to do the Ecclesiastes combos together with it and recycle. To be able to
So yeah, it sounds like he's pretty positive on the Golden Sword Soul too.
return it
Because I just think if you're gonna run Omega, you might as well, even though it is a brick, it's arguably one of your best bricks.
to the graveyard. To be able to return this to the graveyard. I mean,
Oh, also, yeah, the Omega returning like Guignol and like Rinbrum is so underrated, honestly.
brutal. And one of the best synergies that Omega had, that I noticed during the tournament, was doing it on the opponent's turn. It was like, I do Omega on my turn 1, I take a card from you, and then I do Dogma, and I shuffle that card into your deck. So it's like,
Oh, what? I didn't even think about that. Oh, I mean, that's, you should, I mean, at that point, if you're ripping on your opponent's turn, you're probably winning the game. If you're able to like crack back, but the fact is that your opponent won't get it back is crazy with Dogma. I never even thought about that.
I'm doing a brutal warship so that they wouldn't get the card back and the Omega would come back.
That's so petty. It's like, you see that wall baz I just bashed out of your hand? What if you just did it?
So it's very interesting. This card was really the best addition to the deck, the best without a doubt. I mean, this was the best thing I could have added to the deck. It was what made
The best thing that he could have added to his deck.
practically every round I won. I took out Brain Fusion, I took out Raju, I took out Racing. I mean, I hit everyone with a useful card with this.
That's the thing, guys. Like, even if you're sacrificing like a Veiler or something, you're getting rid of like one of your opponent's best cards. And worst case is just hand knowledge and one less resource. Like, it's, I don't know, guys. We've been trying to preach this for the last week. A lot of people believed me, but some people called it cope, and it's just like, now you got the Branded Goat saying it's the best addition to his deck. So I hope people start putting some respect on Psy Frame Lord Omega, because this card's nuts and you should be running in Branded, in my opinion. I just think you're missing out because it's free on top of the combo. Of course, you can check out Andres' Metafy. I'm sure he'll have combos there, but we also do have combos on the channel if you just want to check them out there. We have a deck profile plus 2 combo guides in the last week. Check them out there if you want to see more on why you should be running Psy Frame Lord Omega. But this card just like, I think actually puts the deck into a better slot. It's win more if you mean it's gonna win you more games. Let's go. I'm happy. Everyone is happy picking up Omega. Yes, sir. Battlefield fan. Psy Frame Branded strikes again. I know. Dogma shuffle it away. Was I the only one doing that in test hands? Yeah, no, I did not think about that. It's because of your recommendation that I'm running Psy Frame Lord Omega on my deck from now on. It's honestly so cool that Andres also like was thinking about this deck too, because we were almost like kind of we did it like a week ago on the channel, but I didn't know Andres was on the card. I don't think he knew I was on the card either. And then he was like, "Bro, you stole the or you licked the goo." But yeah, no, I'm glad to see this card.
These two together mean not everything is. There is a key point in the game, which is when you leave the 3 alphas in the graveyard. And the simple fact of being able to take this Omega and return it to the extra deck and return an alphas to the deck is very important. When this comes in late game and you take away like the last card from your hand, you establish a midfield and then they end up at the top, which is brutal.
And remember, you can keep special summoning Dogma, right? Like if you have a properly summoned Dogma, put it to the graveyard, fuse it off, and then just revive it off a Quem kit, or like if you run Sanctifier, right? So this is something that you can do if you really prioritize that kind of grind game with Branded, which gives us another lever to really push our opponent in with.
It was really good. Really good. So that's the deck, guys. The whole super detailed explanation of what's in the guide is $1. It's really cheap. And all the updates are going to be uploaded for free. Once you pay, you get all the updates. I think there's going to be a couple of regionals this weekend, so there's going to be a deck update. For the regionals, I'm not going to upload the list before because it's a lawyer, but for the guides, yes. So you can play the same list if you want, if it catches your attention. For Guatemala, stay tuned. I'm playing the deck again, obviously. If you play with me every time, don't worry if I'm playing big. You don't have to keep looking at the bottom card of the deck. I've been playing big since I'm telling you. Okay, well, for Guatemala, it will be an update for the YCS 3 versus 3 in Las Vegas. There will also be an update, and I think that from there, the time for nationals will come. I think very good things are coming. I don't know if Branded is really playable for the nationals.